Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. Yes, I'm a little bit more laid back and casual than usual. I'm actually in a hotel room in the middle of Venice right now. It's very nice, thank you for asking. Whatever the case, I have not had reliable internet for a long time, so here's my apology. Welcome to an exclusive look at Magicka Vietnam that is not expected to be out until next week. First, let me emphasize that this is beta footage. It is pre-release. That means that balance issues, bugs, etc. should not really be taken as representing the final product. Now, as regards to what this is, it is a DLC for Magicka, as you might imagine, based in Vietnam. And it consists of a very lengthy mission, as well as another challenge mode. Now, I'm not allowed to show you the other challenge mode, but I am allowed to show you the mission. And this is a very large challenge mission that you can play on your own or with friends in order to try and get a high score. Now, what I have noticed is that this game is really, really hard. It actually is. It is absurdly difficult. And you will see me falling flat on my ass a number of times in this particular video. I will not get all that far, and that's probably for the best, because, hey, you don't want spoilers. And I will answer the first question that everybody's asking, will I be doing it with Yogscast? Well, yes. Once I get back into the country, which should be on Friday, I'll be looking to maybe do some Yogscast footage. I have some keys for them too, so don't worry, I'm not leaving them out. Now, this expansion has a lot of guns in it. Now, the M60 makes a return from the original game, and there are numerous other guns, including the M16, the single-shot rifle right here that the Vietnamese goblins use. There's also an RPG, there's a whatever the hell it is, an RPK, I think, or something like that. Whatever the case, that is the machine gun that the Vietnamese use. There's AK-47, of course. Yeah, there's quite a variety. Now, as to just how much you want to use them, well, some people might be concerned that the guns replace the magic. That really is not true, actually. They're effective, certainly, but they can't replace the magic. They just can't. Magic is so much more flexible and more useful, but it's good that you have that sort of combination. The AK-47 is probably one of the best guns that they give you access to, as is the M60. The RPG is fantastic. Now, there is a new magic called Napalm. Yes, it is exactly what you think it is. It's not particularly difficult to cast. It's just Steam Rock, Life, and then Double Fire, which is fairly easy to get the hang of. It's got a reasonably limited range that it can attack in, but the range right now is not indicated. So if you try and aim it at something, you tend to find that it goes in the wrong place, but that's what it does. It is quite a nice effect. It does a hideous amount of damage if you can actually land it. But it would be kind of nice to have a targeting indicator for it. Actually, no, I take that back. It wouldn't be, because that's not what Magicka's all about. Magicka is about screwing up in a hilarious fashion. That'll be awesome. Now, you see the smoke does go down, and he's saying, well, TotalBiscuit, there is a targeting indicator here. Yep. Well, the thing is, there is a limited range on it, but it doesn't tell you what that range is. You can easily cast something completely out of range, and the smoke grenade will land closer to you, which is not very good. It will kill you a lot. There are also certain magics lying around the place. You want to try and pick some of them up, because it's the most useful ones, things like haste, etc. You really want to have that, and you do, of course, start with revive. As regards to the difficulty of this so far, it's quite hard. It really, really is. Now, the second map that comes with it, the survival challenge, is supposed to be much harder than the arena, and I have tried it. I can't tell you much more about it other than it is really difficult, and so is the mission mode that you've got right here, and it's a very expansive map. Now, the replayability of this is supposed to come from doing all of the objectives and trying to do it as quickly as possible and getting the highest score, and of course getting the leaderboards. Now, the objectives that you have to do, there are multiple objectives, and some of them are off the beaten track, so you will not always find them. You do have to go out of your way. So I think this certainly has some replayability in terms of the mission mode, and it is sufficiently enjoyable. Now, there's been a few changes made. For instance, you can crouch with all of the guns, yeah? And that is very useful. You can crouch behind cover, which will reduce incoming damage, although you can't really do anything while you're doing it, except for hiding while you do a napalm strike or something along those lines, which I might add is extremely satisfying. However, unlike the original game, monsters don't tend to come very close to you. because they pretty much all have ranged weapons of some description. There are goblins with mortars, there are trolls with giant machine guns, and that's only what I've seen in sort of the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game. And I don't know how long the map actually goes on for, but whatever the case, there's most likely more variety and story elements going into it. This is just a short preview more so than anything else. This is not a review, folks. Now, having guns has its upsides and its downsides. One of them is you're going to use shield a lot more because you get shot a lot. Two, you're going to use haste a lot more because if you use haste, the chances are you won't get hit as much. It is really, really easy to die in this if you get caught out of position. Now, also, a lot of the guns seem to have a knockback effect on them, which will cancel whatever spell combination you're putting together. I don't know if I like that. That could perhaps be changed. Again, it is a pre-release product. It has not been properly balanced yet. It's not coming out until the 12th. So just bear that in mind. It's got a nice cannon fodder vibe to it. I do like that, and that's something that they did say influenced it. You don't get a huge amount of allied soldiers, and like you say, these guys, if you do actually manage to save them, they don't really go any further than that. But you will meet certain other allied soldiers as you go along. They don't really help all that much, honestly. Just kind of like the NPCs in Magicka. I wouldn't really worry so much about it. Now, you may have noticed he's got new gear. Yes, the Patriot Staff is what you start with in this. I'm not sure if there are any more weapons. I couldn't find them if there were. Just guns, really. As regards to the staff will toss Liberty grenades. They're very effective, but once again, they also have a very limited range. So it is something to bear in mind, and since there is no targeting indicator, you just have no sodding idea where they're going to go. It's interesting to have a game and an expansion for a game that beforehand didn't really emphasize too much on precision aiming, but now that you have guns and you're kind of encouraged to use them every now and again, a targeting reticule probably wouldn't go amiss. That said, I still find it much more entertaining to randomly shoot all over the place, and no doubt with friends it would be fantastic. Throw a Liberty grenade in there, and there are lots of explosive barrels, yes. You have to have explosive barrels, folks, in games like this. If you do not have them, it is not a real game. Now, I think the difficulty will be sorted out if you are playing with friends. There don't appear to be any save points in this challenge map. I don't really expect there to be. It is a challenge map. It is not adventure mode. So once you're dead, you're dead. If you do it with friends, you might survive way longer than I do in this, and you see the knockback that I'm getting right there. It is quite difficult to actually deal with, and even with your shield up, you will be hit by it. I could see a lot of co-op kind of stuff going on here. The use of barrier shields as opposed to personal shields probably be kind of useful, and yes, of course, if there are spells like Meteor Storm anywhere, that would be good too. But I think Napalm probably just replaces Meteor, really, and Meteor Storm's a little bit too random, as hilarious as it is, whereas Napalm is extremely effective. As regards to a DLC, they're looking to price this at $4.99. As regards to whether or not it'll be worth your time, well, I like the aesthetic of it. I really, really do. I also like the fact that they've put in some sort of parody music. You heard some in the trailer. I'm hoping there is a full version of that somewhere. If there is, I haven't heard it yet, but once again, pre-release product, you never know. That would be a very good idea. Also, don't run through Napalm. You die very, very fast, as you can clearly see there. And cut out the next bit and show you just a little bit further on, and then I can come to a conclusion on this particular preview. It is a lot of fun, that I can tell you for a fact. I don't know how much I will really use the guns in it, because I never really felt that the M60 was a great item within the original game. It's not to say that it wasn't powerful. It was too powerful. That was the problem. And I bought this game to mix magics, not to shoot guns. But again, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of variety. And of course, the whole setting is absolutely goddamn hilarious to begin with. I mean, what a fantastic idea, setting something like this in Vietnam. And yes, they have a ton of kind of cannon fodder style humor going on. War has never indeed been so much fun. It is good stuff, folks. It really, really is. And I would highly recommend having a look at it, because, hey, you know how much I love Magicka, you know how much Yogscast loves Magicka, we're massive fans of it, and a chance to have more Magicka action is a good thing, and who knows what they'll come up with next. As regards to last ability, I'd certainly play through this mission mode a couple of times. You're getting a good few hours out of that, and of course, the challenge mode, the survival is much, much harder than the arena in the original game. So, absolutely, I think that people will get their value for money out of this. And bear in mind that the game was only $10 to begin with, so asking $5 for DLC with new art assets and things like that is not unreasonable. It's not really a full-blown expansion, it's a mini-expansion. But still, I think it's worthwhile. That, and it's also a case of supporting the devs. As regards to bugs and things like that, even in this preview build, I haven't noticed anything. Although, bear in mind that I can't guarantee that there won't be any. This is, after all, yes, it is Arrowhead we're talking about right here. As much as I love the guys, and I spent a long time getting drunk with them and left here, still, they don't have a QA team, really. You know, it's just an 8-man studio in a quite nice basement office. Bunch of students with a lot of great ideas. So, I know Magicka still has a few bugs here and there, but it's nothing major, really. I think that's what people really need to bear in mind, is that the majority of the game-breaking bugs were resolved very early on, and any of you that haven't bought it as a result of hearing about a buggy game, well, you know, you might want to just stump up the cash now, because they pretty much sorted anything of note. You know, a random crash here and there does not a buggy game make. And plenty of games crash, regardless of how stable they are, supposedly. But yeah, that's just how PC gaming goes, folks. That is how it goes, and I can get along with that because of the innovation and the humor aspect of this. Okay, folks. That was a quick 10 or so minute look at Magicka Vietnam. That will be coming out on the 12th. It will be available on Steam and, of course, Gamersgate. The cost will be $5, and it comes with this long mission mode right here, as well as a survival challenge map, a new magic, and some new items to go with it. Now, as much as I'd like to show you more of it, I am really, really tired. I've been walking around Venice all day, and yes, thanks to those who asked, it is absolutely awesome. I am taking a nice, relaxing break. Not doing too much. I might make maybe another little video tomorrow, just to keep you guys ticking over. And apologies for not getting anything done while I was at the UGC, other than, of course, doing a lot of StarCraft 2 casting. Basically, I was promised internet in my hotel and didn't get it. So I couldn't really do anything within the hall because it was too loud in order to do anything. And obviously, I was working while I was there, so nothing happened. No Azeroth Daily Lights. I'm very, very sorry. You know I meant to, but whatever the case. We should be getting things rolling back on Friday. I'll be back in the country on Friday. I should be back to my normal schedule, hopefully. And in the meantime, if you want other great channels to check out, I would strongly suggest, if you're looking for some StarCraft 2 action, head over to Husky's channel, have a look at Artosis' channel, Day 9s, and Strap Bunker with Pain News also. Very, very good indeed. And The Cat's Pajamas, you should go check him out. He is absolutely fantastic. And also, if you are looking for some World of Warcraft action, then, of course, Jesse Cox and Zam Official and Tank Spot should have you covered over there. And if you're looking for zaniness, of course, then the one and only Yogscast are the place to go. So go and have a look at them. My name is TotalBiscuit. I've got plenty in store for you when I get back from Italy.